Yes, we are live. A wonderful afternoon and evening to all of you who is watching us from all countries around the world. Today with you is Veronica Seban. I am presenting the podcast Unleash Your Leadership Genius. For those who don't know me yet, I am a certified transformational business and personal development coach, multiple award winner in business strategies, business development, and the founder of Elite Global Leadership Club. By the way, I'm also a polyglot, so I am passionate about foreign languages. And today I have invited an eminent and very creative guest, and none other than the Honorable Laura Mae Jones from the United States. So, dear Laura, it's a huge honor and blessing to having you here on the stage on my podcast today. And I would love to invite you to introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. You have no idea how honored I am to be part of Elite Global Leadership Club. It is the elite, the best of the best. It is the best leaders coming together to have an impact on the world. And there is nowhere else I'd rather be than here today. My name again is Laura Mae Jones. I'm a mindfulness master, a notary public, a paralegal, and an author. I love to be creative. I love to have an impact on the world in mindfulness, living in the present moment, and learning to let go of pain and not getting stuck in our future. We are one and we need to be united. And I am here today to speak on this platform about empowering others and empathy in relationships. And with that, we'll get started. And thank you again, Veronica. This is my self care for myself to be here today. And I just feel all the energy filling me up. So thank you again.
Thank you so much as well for coming and for empowering us and giving so to us more significance, empowering and supporting so another people who are really in need like you have been.
Mhm.
And being said that, I would love to learn more about your recent journey. Could you share with us what have been like one of the most mental or psychological and emotional strengths of you that you have been going through a such, let's say, difficult period that you have
Yes.
overcome?
Yes. Well, the most recent thing that I have been experiencing, I would call my worst nightmare. I have feared this for my whole life, and that is to be alone. In December, my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and stage 4 liver cancer. And they sent him home on hospice care with 1 to 3 months to live. 2 months has already gone by. When we first found out, we were stunned. He's younger than I am by about 7 years, so I always thought I would go first. And we were shocked, and we decided to look at the positive, and the silver lining is he could have at any time had a stroke, a heart attack, and been gone. With this, at least we have time to say the things that may not have been said. We have the time to really focus on our last moments together and make them really count. We have been able to make arrangements that would not have been able to have been made had he gone instantly. And the only really negative thing that we're experiencing is his suffering. And that's what we pray about. He is not afraid to go to heaven. He is only grieving at leaving us behind, and he doesn't want us to grieve and hurt for him. That breaks his heart. He wants me to be okay, and I was afraid I would not be. But I have built enough strength that I am amazed and proud of myself because 7, 8 years ago, I would not have been able to handle this mentally. I would have crumbled already. And I do have my moments. I do where I cry, I get scared. There's been a time or two where I panicked to the point I had to really focus on my breath and tell myself I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm going to overcome. And to be in the middle of my husband's ending days, to be able to still live my life and him live his moments that are good still with me has opened up my eyes to how strong we really are. We can fear everything and we can face our fears. And when we do that and we do faith over fear, then you find out you are strong enough because God intervenes and God has a plan for each one of us. And my husband's journey is coming to an end. Mine is not. I had every medical test in October and I am in such good health. And what that told me as a cancer survivor is God's telling me I'm strong enough to take care of my husband while he is making his Passover into heaven. And I'm honored to be able to be by his side. I did want to go first, but I'm honored to be here and be able to be at his military funeral because he will receive a great honor, a 21 gun salute. It's a very honorable, oops, I'm sorry, notification. It's a very honorable ceremony that I dreaded ever having to be here to witness, but I'm honored to be here to witness because he is dying for his country. He served 30 years and
Wow.
he got the cancer from being stationed here in North Carolina at Camp Lejeune. And he is not alone. There are many Marine families going through this, and it's very tragic. It's the biggest lawsuit in the United States history against the government. So it's a long process, and John will not receive any of the benefits of any lawsuit, and any amount of money that I receive in the future is not going to replace him being a grandfather. He just became a grandfather of a little, she's 6 weeks old. We've waited a very long time for this beautiful little girl, and she's here. And he is so broken that she won't know him. But we promised him how much she will know him by videos, by our stories, and by keeping him alive in everything that we do. And I had fear that once he's gone that I would crumble and be paralyzed and not be able to get off my couch for a year. I've been there before. I lost two grandchildren and I was on my couch for a year and I was so depressed. I don't want to ever be in that position of suffering in a paralyzed state again. So I practice my skills, which I learned through mindfulness, dialectical behavior therapy, and practicing and journaling. And right now, I don't even have time to journal. So I am journaling in my mind because I want to write a book. And I have started it, of course, but now it has a different ending. And It sounds like a sad ending, but it's not going to be a sad ending because I know that we will be reunited in heaven. And I also know that I still have a job to do, and I want to help impact mental health reform, and I want to be able to help people have hope that they can grow through leadership, through personal development, and achieve their goals and dreams. And we need to empower people at a young age. We are all born to be leaders. We have to lead our family. We have to lead by example. We have to surround ourselves with like minded people with the same passion for what we have passion for so that we can network and learn from each other. And God will put the right people in your circle, in your tribe that will lift you and be there to support you. Because if they're not your people, they're not your tribe, and you need to walk away.
Absolutely, dear Laura. So I will add to something. Look, I'm just crying. Tears
Oh,
just are.
oh, oh, don't
Uh,
close ears. I
yes, I
know
am.
it's.
I am very sensitive, like towards all the humans, especially when it comes. What I'm admiring about you and your husband that you have such beautiful relationship.
We have
It,
been
it's
together 25
very, very,
years.
very beautiful to see that, how much do you support each another. And
Hmm.
especially in those times, I know that you have been going through many difficult emotional periods of time
Hmm.
when your husband, John, was supporting you a lot.
Oh, yes. He's been through all of my ups and downs, including a suicide attempt, being on life support, um, due to, just too much depression. I just couldn't take anymore. I made a mistake, and God sent me back. I had a near death experience that infused me with a lot of wisdom and self love, which is something I had never had before that experience. And I learned to love myself finally. And once I learned to love myself, it made me stronger because I put more protective boundaries around my heart because I was born to be kind. I was born feeling, sometimes I think I feel other people's joys or sorrows more than they do. I get so excited for a bride. I get so sad for a funeral. I get so excited when someone's having a child. And when we are empaths ourselves, we look at the world in a different lens. And I believe that's what's more of what's needed in our world is for people to have more empathy, to put themselves in the other person's shoes. And if you don't know their situation, don't assume anything because you don't know what anyone is going through. And I can tell you that a con- these notifications, a convenience store clerk saved me one time from trying to overdose just by her kindness. And to this day, she doesn't know that her kindness and her smile and her making me feel like I mattered as a human being saved me. And you never know what a smile does for someone. So just making eye contact, holding a door, and smiling at someone can change their day. And
Absolutely.
you never know what impact you're going to have on someone. So be kind and pay attention and put yourself in their situation.
Thank you for being so humble and vulnerable and for sharing so such profound details. And in addition, I would love to ask you what has been your breakthrough so in this period of time, like a moment of realization of something or awakening.
Believe that the skills that I learned in mindfulness is what has gotten me to be able to break through with my worst fear of this. And it's by learning to radical acceptance. And that's being aware of things I have no control over and accepting what is at the moment. And what is that my husband is still with me. And what is he's fine resting now. He's not suffering at the moment. And I'm grateful. I live a life of gratitude, and I will look for a silver lining in the most dire situations because there usually is a silver lining. The silver lining in John is he will not be in pain anymore. He has endured so much pain for so many years, but this cancer, in 25 years, he has never taken pain medications despite his pain, his physical pain from combat related injuries and things like that. But this, he's on pain, so much pain medication, and he still suffers with severe pain. And I have laid hands on him and prayed out loud to God on two occasions. And one was the other day, and I want to share that one with you if you don't mind. And I hope it doesn't trigger anyone. It's a little graphic, but my grandchildren were about to show up from another state, Alabama, with my son and daughter in law, and they were on their way to my home. And we had gone and gotten McDonald's pancakes at the drive through. And John ate two bites and got violently ill. So violently ill, he opened the car door and was vomiting, but it was so violent, his nose started to gush blood. I thought he was having an aneurysm or a stroke or a bleed out. And my grandchildren are about to come down my street and pull in my driveway. I laid hands on John. I prayed to God. I said, God, please not now, not today, not in front of my grandchildren. Please do not take him at this moment. I'm not asking to keep him. I'm not asking you to cure him. I'm asking for today. And at that moment, his nose stopped bleeding. He stopped vomiting profusely. We were able to get a big piece of cardboard over the mess so that my 8-year old and 14-year old grandchildren didn't pull in the driveway and witness what he had just gone through. Now he did look pretty bad, which impacted them because he was had been so sick. But then the next day, he had a great day, and we had such a great time. And when they left, they know that it was probably the last time they'll see him alive in person. And they handled it very well. Um, it was hard. We were afraid, but we talked to them, and they're very God loving children. And they understand about heaven and our journeys. And our job here is to learn and to grow. And when our job here is done, God takes us home. Well, they understand that John has completed his journey and he's being promoted into heaven, where he will be our guardian and he will be with us always, and we will keep him alive in our conversations, in our stories, in everything. And so we have, thank God we have social media so that they know today they can call him and he's still with us. But the parting moments are very difficult. And but we got through it, and it was a wonderful visit. And you know, I just was so thankful to God because I told my husband, I said, I will stay by your side no matter what happens. I can take it. I will take it. But I do not want anyone else that loves you to see what you go through, your daughters or your friends or anybody else. I am here to be with you. I won't leave your side. And when it's said and done, He will never be alone. It'll be like he goes from my side into heaven. It's that quick. I left this realm once, and it's like getting up from one chair and going to another chair in the same room. That quick, you are there. And I believe for him, when he's in heaven and greets all his family, there's no time there. It'll be a short time for him, so he won't be missing us. For us, it'll feel like an eternity because of our time here on earth. But at the end of the day, eternity is eternity, and we will all be together again. And we know that, and that's how we get through each day.
Do you know? I think that that bond, that inner bond, or the bond of your relationship, never will be able to break between you and John, because it's so powerful, on a such extent that it's not possible to break. And so, following up with our podcast, I would love also to ask you, what leadership qualities do you think that you have developed so during this period of time, that have helped you to become more aware, more strong, and to manage this situation?
I think it's the fact that I have practiced in practice situations. I've gone through a lot, and um, I've had a lot of practice with the radical acceptance and staying present and not fearing the future, uh, because the future is not here yet and no one is promised tomorrow. And I trust God with my future, because I have found that planning doesn't do a whole lot of good, because my life, certainly, if it turned out the way I planned, I certainly wouldn't be as blessed as I've been, because I wouldn't have felt I would have ever made it as far as I have. And it's just a matter of the mentors I've had, the leaders that have been come before me and taught me personal development and the self love and the self care and the importance of um, your relationships, and making sure you pay attention to your close relationships. And so that when you do need help and you do need support, that there are people there to help you. And if there isn't anyone there to help you, reach out somewhere else. There is someone who will be there for you, because we all matter. We all get broken. We all have to get back up. I consider myself a phoenix. I feel like I have died a million times and rose from the ashes over and over. And there's going to be days I'm going to get broken. I can't imagine my life without John, but I can imagine myself wanting him to be proud of me by being strong enough to continue doing what I'm doing to help others and to impact others, so that they're not alone and they have resources to go to when life gets overwhelming and hard. Um, I've learned to pause. That's probably the biggest thing. When things get overwhelming, you need to just pause and do nothing but be still, especially if you can get in nature, even if it's for 5 minutes. Be still and just try not to think about anything. Just be still and listen. Listen to the silence, observe nature, and you will receive guidance from your higher self, your higher power, and God. And that's when clarity comes in. That's where you find out what your next step is. And I found that if I keep trying to do the next right thing, I end up on top of where I thought I might end up. So if you keep just doing baby steps, just do the next right thing. You don't have to overwhelm yourself with, well, first I have to do this, then this, then this, then this. No, one moment at a time, breathe, pause, meditate, walk, be good to yourself, be good to everyone else, and don't settle for less. A queen doesn't need a king to be a queen, and a queen can just be her own boss because we're like a boss.
A baby boss.
Yeah, baby boss. I'm a
Yes, it
boss.
sounds wonderful. So I do have a huge admiration, for your strength, for your mindfulness,
Thank
and
you.
especially for your purpose. So, and moving forward, I would love to ask you, how would you love to fulfill your mission? How would you
I
love to contribute to the transformation of another people's life?
I want to complete my book. I don't want to say write because it's there. I'm waiting for probably the last chapter or so. And I want to help children. I want to impact young people because it's their world and they need to learn to cope early on so that they can become the leaders they want to be. They have to learn how to cope with jealousy, bullying. It's part of life, and I don't know that that's going to change. But what is changing is we are speaking out more about coping, about asking for help, about learning to love ourselves and respect ourselves so that we don't let everybody hurt us and let everybody define who we are. We have to learn to define who we are and not let others' opinions define who you are. I let my family define me as worthless, as not even being worthy of the air that I breathe. And I gave my life for my family, and when they left because of my behavior, my maladaptive suicidal behavior, and would not even give me a chance, that was 8 years ago. And I have thrived and I miss them. But they were toxic to me, and I didn't even realize it until God took them out of my life. And I learned not to question things. I learned I don't need to understand why things are happening because I know God has a reason and I trust Him. So, we go through our moments where this isn't fair. Why now? Why him? Why not me first? And all that. But if you start going into those thought patterns, you're going to spiral into a negative place, and you can't fight cancer with a negative mindset, and you can't fight depression with a negative mindset, and you can't fight anxiety if you're so wound up in the future, or you can't fight depression if you're stuck in your past. So the present is always where you want to stay, and just always surround yourself with the right people and always be kind, even if they're not kind to you. Karma is a real thing. And I have witnessed karma come back and bite people in the butt. And it is not a pretty sight. I don't enjoy seeing people's karma happen, but they bring it on themselves. So I keep trying to do the next right thing. And so I keep my karma clean and clear and crispy, and so I can keep on growing. And I'm going to learn and grow until I take my last breath. And I'm going to give my insights to anyone that wants to listen and hear them. I've been very blessed, and I never imagined I would have accomplished the things that I have. And it just goes to show you that anybody is capable of anything if they learn to realize that we are limitless. We're only limited by our own beliefs, we are limited by our own thoughts. So empower others, share your skills, Share your experiences with people and how you overcome and adapt so that even if only one part of that helps one person, you've made an impact on someone's life. And we are one spiritual being in having a human experience. And being a human is very difficult. And we are spiritual people. We're one race, the human race, and we all bleed red. And we are one united family. And we need to stop the diversities, join hands together, save our planet, take care of it, nurture it, nurture each other, and nurture ourselves. And the world will be a better place for our younger generation. Like your daughter, she is beautiful. You guys look like sisters. You don't even look like mother daughter. I want to make a difference for her life. I want to make a difference for your grandchildren's life. And I think that's why I'm still here because I'm getting old. I'm going to be 67. Or really, I'm 33 with 33 years experience. So that's how I look at it because I feel 33, which is a blessing because I have no aches and pains. God made me healthy and strong enough to take care of my husband. And 25 years, and for the last 12 years, we've been together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because he's been disabled and retired. And so my life is about to change, and my focus will be on helping impact others with hope, skills, someone to cry to, someone to talk to, someone to reach out to. I have insomnia, I'm up half the night. So we need to empower each other and stick with the best of the best, like elite global leadership club, and you will
Thank you so
thrive.
much, dear Laura. I do love so much your mission, especially when you mention it to educate the children, to empower them, to give them examples, to be a role model for them. I think the new generation needs us, especially someone like you, because you are
Thanks.
very, very. Yes, it's because you are very, very mindful. And I would love to ask you, so the last question, how did you become a mindfulness master? What has motivated you to become a mindfulness master?
What motivated me to become a mindfulness master was after I had been on life support and I woke up and my family was gone, I didn't know what to do with my life. I thought, what am I going to do? I have no purpose. What am I going to do? And I did not ever, because I suffered with mental health issues from a young age, depression, anxiety, I know that stuff can be hereditary. And I became a trailblazer to change the way mental health was being handled so that my grandchildren, if they receive my genes of tendency for depression or anxiety or anything, that they would never go through what I went through. And so I became a mindfulness master by studying mindfulness with John Shear for 2 years, and he certified me as a mindfulness master. And he changed my life, saved my life. And it was a very simple process. It was just one small task a week for 52 weeks that you practice and you build mastery at. And the more trials and tribulations I went through, I practiced with the skills that I was taught, and they have accumulated to where I am able to handle my most challenging fears, face them, trace them, erase them, and go on because the devil is a liar, and I believe in divine intervention. And only God knows when my husband's time is up. So I'm glad he's here today. I'm thankful for today, and I'll worry about tomorrow when it gets here.
Oh, wow, it's very, very powerful, like the process that you have been going through to become a mindfulness master. And I also do believe in the divine intervention, in the divine power, that there is always a reason for what is happening in our life. And I also do believe that you still do have to fulfill your mission, you know here on the earth, and therefore so you have to do that,
Yes,
to yes, to share so your life story, experience, your wisdom and knowledge with many people around the world
yeah,
that they probably have been going through a similar situation like you, because there are many, many people in need. There are many people that they feel alone, maybe abandoned, maybe not understood. They are facing emotional trials as well, difficulties. And I think, that you have to celebrate it. It's something
yes.
which is very beautiful.
Hmm. We do
And
need to celebrate our lives every day and celebrate every sunrise and every sunset. They're my favorite. I don't miss the sunrise. I'm at McDonald's at 5 a.m. waiting for the coffee for my husband. I bring it home. He gets up about an hour later, and I've already done some meditation, done my prayers, witnessed the sunrise, and I'm ready for another day, whatever it brings. And so
wow.
far, it's been great. I mean, it has its moments, but I'm dealing with them and being able to not get stuck in them and continue moving forward.
I think that living in such beautiful marriage, it's a real blessing.
Yes, it
And a
is.
real happiness, like feeling really in your heart, and especially when you do live that every single day. But it depends, how do you define, happiness? Because obviously we are interpreting happiness in different ways, yeah. But from what I have seen and I am observing, like, you have been in a very happy marriage,
Yes.
like you have been blessed, and you are still very blessed having a such caring husband,
Yes.
and supportive, because he's extremely supportive.
Yes, he has been. We've gone through some very dark periods that we felt were like spiritual warfare. I mean, it wasn't just a string of bad luck. It was so dark for a period of about 5 years, that I'm surprised we survived that part of our marriage, but we did. And every marriage has ups and downs, dark periods. That's just the way life comes in, and people cope in different ways and things. But the loyalty that we've shared, and that's the bottom line, is the loyalty, uh, always being there for each other, even if we were fighting and things like that. We go our separate ways till we calm down, then we come back and discuss it again. I mean, nobody has a perfect life. It can look great on Facebook and all that stuff, but uh, you just don't know what's going on in people's lives. And I have been so blessed, and John has done so much for our country, and I'm really sorry he's going to be gone, but I'm happy for him because he has suffered so long. And he will empower me from the other side. I know he will. My mother did. My mother empowered me. I had the same fear when she was going to pass away. And I feel her still today. And she was very strong. She was my leader. She was my mentor and role model. But I wasn't like her until I learned to love myself, and until I learned the skills to protect myself and to stay positive and stay healthy. And it just takes practice, and it only takes moments a day. It really does. It's not like something you have to um, take time. You can do it anytime. Being mindful is something, it's a way of living. It's not really something you do, it's something you are. And that's awareness and observing the facts and not judging others. Because ooh, that's a whole other subject, is judgments. People that are judgmental and pass their judgments and opinions to others as facts. They're not the facts, and they destroy people's reputations and they destroy people's lives. So always observe the facts and do not always believe everything that you're told unless you've seen it for yourself. And
Absolutely, I am totally agree because I am someone who is very very grounded. Like I need the the proven facts. I need to see that. Like show it to me so that I
Mhm.
can see that. Because if
Yes.
like everyone can talk cheaply, let's say, yeah, just yeah, my trainer from Harv Eker said all the time, like no cheap talk because it's for free.
Right, right. My mother would say, "Don't tell me you love me, show me you love me." She said,
Wow, this is
"Yeah,
very powerful. Yeah, yeah, this is very
yeah." She
powerful.
would
Yeah,
say, "Show me, don't tell me." And that makes a lot of sense because words can be weapons and words can be healing, but actions is how you know the truth. That's how you
absolutely,
know the truth,
absolutely.
is by the actions of someone, not by what they say, but by what they do. So you have to walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk.
I'm totally agree. I'm always also mentioning, to few people in my life that let's say to dear people, like I'm saying also like you, show me that you love me. Like don't tell it to me, just show me so that I can see that, so that I can feel that.
Yes, show me, don't tell me.
Exactly, yeah. So before we are finalizing our beautiful and impactful podcast, I would love to invite you and to share a message of empowerment so with my lovely audience.
Okay. My message of empowerment to everyone would be to please start with your toddlers and start to empower them with self love, and watch what you say in front of them, mom, because if you're talking about body shame on yourself, your child is going to start having their body shame. We have to watch what we say in order to empower others. We have to be aware of our actions and what's coming out of our mouth so that we can be that example, be that empowered leader so that your children can imitate and learn from you and want to be that as well. And you can empower someone just by showing them how to do something, or empower them by telling them that they can do it and help them do it. And the more they accomplish, the more confident they'll become, and the more leadership skills they'll develop to empower others with. And it would go on and on and on. And that's what we need to do. We need to empower each other in everything we do, in every way we do it. We need to serve each other and serve God, and we will have a better world and a happier younger generation. And that's what is needed. It has been generational curses passed down for generations of negative judgments and boundaries that are not healthy. And we need to wipe the blackboard clean and start over as one family, united with the same goals and dreams for each other, so that we are the body of God. Every human being in this planet is the body of God. And if we hold hands and love each other instead of criticizing and being jealous and telling lies or stories about each other, it would be profound impact different world. And that's what we need to do. And by these platforms, by these um, opportunities to be able to speak out about things that are tough, like suicide and death and the other side of life that people are uncomfortable to talk about. I think we can help each other and open doors for people so they can go forward through painful situations. And just keep surrounding yourself with like minded people, do what you love, and find a way to earn an income by doing what you love. And you can help them do that because I've seen you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate so your presence here with us on the podcast Unleash Your Leadership Genius. And it's been a huge honor and pleasure to host you and to having you so here with us this evening. To me, it's almost evening time. And
Hmm.
God bless you. Take care of yourself and of all your family. I know
I
that you are
will.
a blessing for everyone.
Thank you. So are you. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you to all your guests who watched us and will watch us. And together we're stronger. So I love
Absolutely.
everyone. Love you.
Bye bye.
Appreciate you. Keep doing that great job. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Good night,
You too.
everyone.